4th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
And we're in the middle of this sugya here with the wife selling her ksuba. And we recall that yesterday at the end of the shir, Roy had a very uneasy feeling about this situation over here. That here we have a man who's living with this wife of his, properly married in every way that we could see, but he doesn't owe her a ksuba. What happened to the ksuba? He gave her a ksuba, but she sold it. The Gemora is suggesting that she should be able to sell it because she needs money to be able to pay the injured party. And initially the Gemora said, oh, that'll explain why our Mishnah says that she doesn't have any money. Because she couldn't do such a thing. Why? Because the Mishnah goes according to Reb Meir. And Reb Meir says, it's forbidden for a man, even for a sha'achas, to remain married to his wife without her having a ksuba. So that was the Gemora's initial response to the suggestion that she should sell her ksuba. What do you mean sell her ksuba? How could she do a thing like that? Not according to Reb Meir. She can't do that. And on that, the Gemora said, oh, well, what's the reason that Reb Meir said that it's usher? It shouldn't be an easy thing for him to divorce her. And the Gemora said, is it an easy thing in this situation where she sold her ksuba to a lokeach? Somebody purchased the right to receive the proceeds to the ksuba. So she doesn't have the right to receive the proceeds of the ksuba, but somebody does. So is this a case where it's going to be easy for the husband to divorce her? No, the Gemora said that if he decides to divorce her, he's not gonna easily divorce her, because if he decides to do that, then the purchaser is going to come and demand the ksuba from him. He's going to end up having to pay this other person that bought the ksuba from the isha, and so at the end of the day, it's not going to be easy for him to do that at all. So that's where the Gemora leaves it at this point. So it seems as though, according to the Gemora at this point, we're going to see the Gemora has more to say about this matter of her selling her ksuba. But as far as this issue of Rev Meir is concerned, that it's usher, says Rev Meir, for a man to live with his wife, and she doesn't have any ksuba. Seems as though the Gemara's dealt with that. Okay. Roy, are you still uneasy? Roy, are you there?
Yes.
Are you still uneasy about this matter?
Am I still uneasy about this matter? No, I'll just see how it works out. Well, what else can I say? We haven't finished it yet. So
Okay.
obviously when we finish it, then you can have an
Okay.
opinion.
Are you worried about the poor wife that she's going to get divorced?
She probably deserves it. Oh, I don't know. No, at the moment, I'll no. So we're going by, at the moment, we're going by Reb Meir. Is that right? Is that what we
Yes.
said?
Yes. So what I wanted to bring up up over here right now, I don't know if I want to dwell on it because I don't know if it's difficult or not. It seems like the Gemora doesn't regard it as a difficulty. But Tosfos did mention over here, and we spent quite amount of time trying to learn this Tosfos way back 2 weeks ago. For some reason, we were learning this Tosfos. Really, right now, it's very appropriate to learn this Tosfos. But I'm not going to suggest that we do that because but just to point out one thing from what the Tosfos said, I'm talking about Tosfos Divrei Maskil Taima. Taima Mai. The Gemora asked, what is the reason why that Reb Meir says that a man cannot be married to his wife and she has no ksuva? So Tosfos, if you remember over here, he said this Gemora is a tema. What did the Gemora say? The Gemora said that because it shouldn't be difficult. It should not be easy, rather, in the husband's eyes to let her go, because he's going to have to pay a ksuba. So he's going to think twice before he does this. But Tosfos says, in fact, and we learned this Gemora in Ksubas, I believe. Tosfos points out that the Mishnah in Ksubas, which mentions Reb Meir had a totally different reason over there why it was that there would be an isser involved in living with this woman. And he said, "Shalotiet bilaso bilasnus." If she doesn't, if he's not, even in the event that he's required to pay her ksuba, but she is, for whatever reason, uneasy about it. She perhaps is mistaken. She thinks he doesn't need to pay it, or she thinks that she's not going to get paid it, even if he does, even if she knows that he is supposed to pay it. So she's not somek das to be. She's not a happy camper over here about being married to him in this situation where she doesn't have a ksuva. And Reb Meir says that is totally unacceptable. Bilaso bilas nus. This is an improper relationship between them at this point. So that was the reason that Reb Meir said over there in the Gemora in Ksuvas that a man who attempts to diminish the required amount that Chazal set for giving in a ksuva, and he's trying to lessen it. He's trying to make a condition that he's not required to pay it. So that's bilaso bilasnus. So over here, Tosfos is pointing out that we have a different reason why it is that if a woman is not getting her ksuva, that the whole thing is usher. Not because it will be difficult for him to divorce her, but simply the fact that she doesn't have a ksuva, or she doesn't believe that she's going to get paid her ksuva. So So if according to this other concern that Reb Meir has, based upon the Gemora in Ksubis, is this a concern over here in our Gemora? I don't know if Tosfos addresses this question. Maybe he feels that that there's no question to be asked. His question really is about the fact that there seems to be an inconsistency in the two statements of Reb Meir. Is it usher only when she feels she's when she's really entitled to a ksuba, but she doesn't feel she's going to get it, or also when she excuses his obligation to give it. According to the reason that we have in our Gemora, that it shouldn't be, he can't live with her with her not having a ksuba, because it'll be too easy for him to divorce her. We don't want that. It would seem, even if he was successful in getting her to agree that there is that he doesn't have any obligation to pay for a divorce, even if that would be acceptable according to the over there, but over here it's not acceptable. Over here, we don't want that. That it should be too easy to divorce her. But over here, we said it's not easy to divorce her. What's the difference whether the husband has to pay it to the wife, or he has to pay it to a third party? It's not easy for him to do that. So he's not gonna unnecessarily or too hastily decide to divorce her. It's only going to be for good cause, hopefully. So it would seem to me, I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts about it, but it would seem to me that in this case, the wife did receive a ksuba. She had a ksuba for the full amount. He didn't try to get out of his obligation whatsoever. And what happened is that she now needs money because she has to pay for injuries that she caused. And so now the Gemora is trying to understand, why is it that the Mishnah says that she has no money? She could sell her ksuba. So is she allowed to sell her ksuba for these two reasons? The Gemora said, as far as the reason of it won't be easy, we don't want her to not have a ksuba because we don't want it to be too easy for him to divorce her. The Gemora is satisfied that it's not easy for him to divorce her in this case because it's going to be paid to somebody else. But about the other reason, is this a improper relationship now that we're putting her in? That she has to sell her, that she's got to sell her ksuba for a discounted amount? Does that make it an improper relationship? Does that make it bilas or bilas nus? That was the other reason of Reb Meir. Perhaps an argument could be made that we don't have a right to force her to sell her ksuba for a discounted amount in this case. Because we hold that if the husband is going to try to discount his obligation to give her the full amount of the ksuba, we call it bilas nus. So over here, it's true that the husband didn't try to do it, but in this case, we're trying to tell her to basically make do with less in the ksuba, even though it's going to be a guaranteed amount that she's going to have. But in any case, she's not going to get it. She's going to have to pay pay it out to this person, and she's going to end up not having anything. So, is this fall into the problem of bilasa bilasnus? I don't know that it's so clear that it's not. So, after all is said and done, maybe Roy is right. And he was well justified to have the temerity to say that he was very uneasy about this situation that we have right now in the Gemora. Okay. We'll leave it at that. We'll go on. Anybody have any comments? Okay. So let's so at this point the Gemora is satisfied to say that at this point the Gemora still has a problem. In other words, we don't know why the woman the Mishnah says that she got no money, that she has no way to get money to be able to pay this guy that she injured. Why shouldn't she sell her ksuba? You'll say the Mishnah goes according to Reb Meir. Meir says you can't do such a thing. It's going to be too easy to divorce her. The Gemara answered that reservation. That's not going to be easy for him. The purchaser of the ksuba is going to demand the full payment of the ksuba from him. He's going to have to end up paying the full amount of the ksuba, not the discounted amount. So it's not going to be easy for him to divorce. And the Gemara leaves it at that. And now we go on. Okay, so let's go on. We're up to Ella. And now here is where the fun really begins. So, you want to know probably where the Ella is that I'm referring to over here. The Ella is the last line before the spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom of the Amud. Peites Amud Aleph. 89a. It says Ella. So it should be your last page in 89a.
It's 89A3 on the left column. It's where the second paragraph starts, the Gemora, therefore. That's the Ella, rather. I'm going to mute again because of the noise back here.
Very good. Oh, I didn't hear any noise. That was perfect. Thank you. Okay. And we go to Professor Sherlock Karp. He's hot on this detective case. Is this woman going to be able to sell her ksuba or not? So far we don't see any reason why we need to prevent her from that. We don't see any reason why. We'll put it like this: we don't see any reason why we cannot demand of her to do so. But the Gemara is going to have another question over here. Is she required to do so? Is she required to do it? Let's see. Ella, Roy, please read for us. Can't hear you, Roy.
Sorry. Ela Shmuel Mishum de Shmuel. Is that it?
No.
No? Oh.
Nope.
Go up a couple of paragraphs.
Elo Tovas.
Yeah.
Elo Tovas Hanaa Mile Ninahu. Rather, the discounted amount is words. umile lo mishta'abdeh, and words are not mortgaged to the victim. The Gemara objects. Why have I got a reference here, 19a or 79a? 79a must be. Anyway, so the Gemara objects. Olamah law. Why not? Milay demiz b'nei b'divnei neira ninenu. They are words that can be sold for money. Why then is she not required to sell it to pay her victim?
Now, what words are we talking about over here?
The words that are written in the Ketubah?
She's selling her ksuba. She has a document. She has a ksuba. What's a ksuba? A ksuba is a document that says that if under certain circumstances the husband is obligated to pay the sum that's listed in the ksuba, and she has the ability to sell that right to receive those proceeds to a third party purchaser. So what's the what is the Gemora saying over here? The Gemora says that Ela Tovas Hanoah Mili Ninhu. This ability that she has to sell the ksuba, the right to receive the proceeds of the ksuba, to a third-party purchaser, the Gemara defines this as mili. They are mere words. They are mere words, umili lo bishtabde, and mere words are not mishubed. They are not bound to be. They're not mishubed to the obligation that she has to pay this injured party. This injured party, right? The wife owes him, right? The wife owes him. But there's what monies or what properties or what assets can the injured party demand her to give to him? Whatever she has. It seems as though the Gemara is saying that only if she has assets, property, or monies that are meshubed, are bound to be obligated to pay for such types of expenses that she has. And the Gemara says the right to receive the proceeds to the ksuba are not in that category of things that are meshubed to pay her obligation, because they're called mili, they're called words. Now, you might want to know, what does it mean that it's words over here? Why is it words?
If something is written in the Ketubah, does it have an official stamp or something like that on it, or some Beth Din signed it or something like that to say that it's this is what it is? This is legal and enforceable, or if
it's definitely legal and enforceable. We know that the husband, if he divorces her, he's going to have to pay her what it says there.
But there is, what's different in this case is the ketubah has a specific amount that has to be paid. Now, we're not talking about that amount. We're talking about her trying to sell that. And there's no star that says she's selling her ketubah. She's just giving the ketubah to somebody else for this tova sana, for less money because she might die. And in which case he may get nothing. So there's no real star on her deal with the person she's selling it to, unlike the ketubah, which the husband does have to give her if he divorces her, or if he dies, she collects.
Yeah, because what I was thinking of is if these words that are written on the ketubah, well, I know that they're supposed to be enforceable and all that, but they are words, you know.
I mean, does this mean that any loan documents or sale agreement to sell land is just words and it doesn't have any value? It certainly has value, but it's not because it's just words. It would not be subject to being taken to pay this injured party. It sounds like what we need to pay this injured party is we have to have that she has money, she has to have property, she has to have something tangible that could be beholden to pay this injured party. But simply the right to receive the proceeds of her ksuba is not a tangible enough asset to say that it could be that it's meshubed to pay this obligation that she has. If she's holding an IOU note from Ploni Almoni, Ploni Almoni says, "I owe you 100,000," and she's got this note in her hand. Could she give that to the guy? I mean, we're not asking actually. This is the point. We're not asking, could she give that to the guy? If she wants to give it to him, she certainly could. And he would be very happy to have it. Now he has the right to get 100,000 from Ploni. But here the issue is she required to do so? When the Gemora says mili lo mishtabde, means that she's not required to give up. She's not required to sell her ksuba for the tovas anov value and give him the proceeds that she makes from the sale of the ksuba. She's not required to do that. Okay, and then we read after that Alama Lo. The Gemara asked, what do you mean? Why should it not be something that she's required to do to pay off the injured party? Mili de mizdabne b'dinori ninu. It is true, they are words. It's not a tangible asset per se, I guess, but they are words that can be the mizdabne, that they are sold b'dinare ninu. They are words that people are willing to pay money for. There's a person over here that's willing to pay money, and he'll give you real money in order to be able to receive that ksuba and the right to receive the proceeds of that ksuba. So why would it would seem that this is sufficiently acceptable to be able to require to do that. Such types of words should, yes, be meshubed to pay the injured party. Okay, so that's what the Gemara is saying so far, and we'll ask. Phil, would you like to read a Rashi over here? We have a Rashi. Mili
You mean the one word that says nezik?
Yeah.
Okay, to the person who's damaged, the person who's gotten, that's the person who gives it to.
So these
That's
words,
who
the
it's
Gemara-
allocated to.
yeah, these words, she's not, if she wants to do it, he'll be very happy to take it. But the question that the Gemara is saying over here is that she's not obligated to do it. There's no shibud. There's no shibud that requires her since these are just words, that she would be required to sell the ksuba and give him the proceeds. And now we'll explain the Mishnah why it says that she doesn't have any money. She doesn't have any ability to pay him. So on that, the Gemara said, what do you mean? It's words that people pay money for. So it's as good as money. It sounds like what the Gemara is saying. If she has money, wouldn't money be obligated to pay this poor fellow that got injured? So she would be required, according to this, what the Gemara is saying, to sell her ksuba for this tova sana, for the right to receive the proceeds, if there are any proceeds that are going to come. So now the Gemara goes to the next point, and now we'll ask Phil to read the Gemara. Here you got more than one word, Phil. Ella.
Okay, let me get the one.
Shul Yeshua.
Gemara night. I see where it is in article. I'm trying to find it in the Gemara itself. Okay, we're up to the Ella. We're up to Ella Mishum B'Shmur. Is that what we're up to?
Right.
According to Shmuel, the Amar Shmuel says, "Hamocher shtar chov l'chavero," someone who sells his debt to his a star of his debt to a friend. B'chazar u'machlo, and he changes, he retracts, and he forgives that debt. Machlo, it really is what you call it. It's forgiven. He changes his mind. He could undo the fact that he's forgiving the debt. Now that other person, I guess if that's the case, the other person will get nothing because he's forgiven that debt from that other person. The filu yuresh, even if someone inherited that money, machol, he will be that would be forgiven.
Yafilu yoresh mochel. Even the one who inherits from the one that sold it, I guess. Who's somebody loaned right. We have a lender and we got a borrower. And now the lender is holding a shtar chov that says he's owed money. And he turns around, the lender, and he sells that shtar chov. It says he's owed money. It's basically an IOU. He sells that IOU to a third party. The third party purchased it. And then what happens? after he sells it, he chazer umachlo. He's mochel the borrower. The borrower is not required to pay. What do you mean? He already sold the right to receive. He's not the balabayas over here to forgive the loan. He sold the right to receive the proceeds of the loan to somebody else, and afterwards, after having sold it to somebody else, now he's going to excuse the borrower from having to pay. Yeah, that's what's happening over here. And Shmuel says, Machol, he has the power to do it. He has the power to do it. V'afilu yoresh mochel. Even if this lender who after he sold it, he now and then he excused the loan, and then he passes away, and now his son also afilu yoresh mochel. Oh no, in other words, the father didn't. It seems like the father didn't excuse the loan, but if the father passes away, and now even the son, he's totally not involved in this whole deal. It sounds like he could do the same thing. Afilu yoresh mochel. He's the son of the one that lent the money, but the father who lent the money, he sold already the right to receive the proceeds of that loan to a third party. And when he passes away, the son can now get up and say he's mochel the loan. And that's going to cut out the right of the purchaser that purchased this IOU to receive those proceeds from the borrower. Let's see Rashi. Amocher Hazar Amocher Umochelo Machul. Says Rashi.
Mocher, machol, well, machul. If someone sells it and forgives him, he really is forgiven. Therefore, I'm reading. If we say la tahar, tis b'nei that's selling it, mafsidin that lay in the car. It's a loss to the purchaser. He Chadara, because she went back the machla, and she did forgive the loan, the ketuva on the ketuva, labal for the husband. Well, since the al karcha he macheret, because the others one against her will, she was selling it, like she was forced to sell it, so to speak.
Oh, so Rashi is putting this into the Gemora, like this is a very interesting halacha over here. But what does it have to do with our Gemora? What does it have to do with our case over here about this woman selling her ksuba? So Rashi says, look, I'm reading law. If we're going to say to her, to Zabin, sell your ksuba, mafsidinan lei. The lokeach. This is going to cause a loss to the lokeach, to the one who buys it. Why? He hadra umachla l'ksubasa l'bal. She, says Rashi, what's she going to do after selling it to this lokeach, her ksuba? She's going to turn around and she is going to excuse the obligation of the Baal to pay the ksuba. Why is she going to do that? Says Rashi, because she didn't want to sell her ksuba in any case. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want to sell her ksuba. She was forced to sell her ksuba. And so the minute she finds out that Shmuel says that she can be, maybe she knows it, whatever. But the minute she sells it against her will, because we told her to do so, what's she gonna do? She's gonna mochel. She's gonna mochel the obligation of the Baal to do it, to have to pay that ksuba. So in which case we're really causing a loss to this poor lokeach who bought the ksuba. Not to mention that, okay, yeah. So therefore, we don't want to do a thing like that. We don't want to do such a thing. Okay, 12:32. And we don't want to do such a thing as going overtime either. So we will conclude right here. Yasher koach to everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Be well.
Everybody be
Bye.
well.
You too.
Stay
Thank you,
well.
Rabbi.
All the best.
Thank you, Rabbi Levitt. Be well.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Amen.
Be good.
Amen.
See you,
You too.
All
Bye,
right.
Lou. Bye, Roy. Bye, Phil.
Okay.
Bye, Alan.